It'll pick that up.
There you go. Here we are. I know I'm a bit close to the the green screen is like, well, you're just going to have to suffer it. I mean, those looking on a mobile, you're going to have a lovely time because I know some people watch me on like their tellies. I wouldn't want my head that big. Anyway, happy Christmas, people. It's pissing down here, which is so weird for this time in December. It usually doesn't rain for 6 months. I mean, it's been raining a few bombs on the border, which is lovely. Gives you that Christmas feeling. I just have to go back to this. JP, 50, you've been here longer than 51 months. I'm getting that. Nice one, JP. Did I just see Alan in the chat? Hello, Al. Happy Christmas, mate. Hope you're doing well. Dinosaur tree, it's been a long time. I should have left you without a strong room to step to. I can't remember the next line, but the next line after that is sorry I met you. Something like that. It Takes Two, a 1987 club hit. Weird time, actually. Do you remember that, Packer? You'd be going to nightclubs. I was nightclubbing when I was underage. I think everyone was really. That was the thing, wasn't it? You sort of got in before you were meant to. And I was working in a clothes shop. I was about 15. I started at 14, only on Saturday. But I was so good at selling merch that when I turned 15, they wangled it that I was part time. But in the summer holidays, I worked every day anyway. So I used to go to this place in Dartford. JP will know it, almost certainly. It's now Zen. It used to be called Flicks. They had teen scene on a Monday, but anything that's made for kids, at 11 or 12, maybe you'd be up for it. But when you're 13, 14, you don't want to, youth club. No, I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm 14. So the teen scene on a Monday was a bit like, all right, but Thursday night was that was the cool night to go. And the boss of the clothes shop I worked, she knew one of the DJs. I'll tell you what, all the birds used to love the DJs at Flicks. And I knew them because a girl at my school, she was like 15. She was like dating him and he was big, fat, bald, boring. All he done was play Luther Vandross and Alexander O'Neill, all this sort of soul music I had nothing to do with. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Like, I knew it wasn't me. I was anomalous as a child. I was an outlier. We all are. I'm not just saying that, but we can fit into certain situations and we can convince ourselves we're part of it. But when I'm in Flicks on a Thursday night with a pair of chinos on, a pamplemousse sweatshirt, a pair of loafers with a couple of little tassels, and I'm
Yeah.
sort of on the dance floor going, like, like as if I ever dance. And it's going, I found love in, but I really didn't mean it. And everyone's like really sort of serious. And I'm just sort of going, anemic. My teeth were all goofed out. They hadn't settled. I wasn't the Adonis I am now. Put it like that. And I'm sort of there, like, like what, like glowing the light white. And then, like it was. I know we've had this story. We're at this part of the cycle of the stream. I've told this at least 7 times over the years. And then Acid House turned up. And then like D-Mob, we call it acid. Everyone remembers that. Acid, acid. If you thought it was a drug, now you know you're wrong. You hear it in the future of Spectrum. We call it acid, acid. So you got that. You've got, I can't remember who the band was. Band, like what, drummer, guitarist. Someone in the chat will know. It Takes Two. Yeah. a classic. It takes two to make a thing go right, and all this weird sort of. I guess it was Chicago house. I don't know. This isn't my area. But the thing was, although the DJs had caught up with this sort of new music, a lot of that sort of piano, bam, 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 a lot of that, but everyone was still wearing the clothes that fitted the Luther Vandross and Tony Tone. I don't even know what that is. If you've read my novel, you know the character William Minchell, rich kid with a budgie that's a ball bag. Remember that story? True story. Um, 90% of that novel's absolute truth. I didn't have to make anything up. But he used to come into school and go, like, apart from saying things, would you let Jane from Neighbours shit in your mouth? Like, first thing before he'd say hello, it's in the book, and I'd just be like, it's not, I wouldn't say this because I didn't have the vocabulary, but I'd think it's not the question, or it's just that's the first thing you haven't said hello, how are you? Not that I demand politeness in people, but anyway, Ed come in and they'd go, they'd like all give it the large, and then they'd get out a record, Tony Tone, and like they'd rub it and stroke it sensually. Anyway, some point being, when all the acid turned up, everyone started giving it this, like I said, yeah, all that, right? But there's no ecstasy in Dartford at this point. No one's got on to the. No one knows really what this scene is. So you've got blokes in like shirts and ties who've just come out of their office job. They're only like 20 or whatever. Shirt, tie, chinos. But they've dressed up. This isn't their work clothes, but a tie at a nightclub, which can work at the right club, of course, but not flicks when they're playing acid. And it was weird that no, and then like a few kids turned up with smiley t-shirts one week, bandana, is that how you say it? Pair of trainers. And before then, you wouldn't get in the flicks with a pair of trainers on. It had it on the front, no training shoes, no gym clothes. And all of a sudden, it was almost the inverse: no ties, no shirts. But it took a while to catch up. Yeah, weird how culture kind of works like that. Alan has opened the grift with a bullseye after already Hoyta smashing the grift the other day. Thank you, Alan, and happy Christmas to you as well. I I answered a couple of people who donated via the QR code packers indicating now. Yeah, but the videos aren't working, and I let it go a couple of days to see if they were working. And as I was answering one of them, he was like, I hope you have a good Christmas and a happy New Year. And I started thinking about the new year and this massive risk I've taken walking away from a business. And I got a contract from a business partner today. He's like, I want 10% of this and I want this. And but I just thought it'd be easy. I just thought, no, I just walk away. You give me a little bit because it's my business. I'm 60% shareholder. And he's not having it. He's complicating things, which there's two things that might come out of this. Either I just go, fuck it, and then I'm all, like terrifying. But maybe I'm sort of there anyway. The amount I'm getting doesn't pay for everything at all. I've got to earn money. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put pressure on myself to earn from writing. Because without that pressure, anyway. But or just go back to work, and that's really hurting me. That's really hurting me. I haven't been this happy. Not it's not that I'm not working, people. I'm writing every night. I'm up till 5 in the morning every night, writing, promoting the novel. Oh, bless you, people. Everyone in here who's bought that novel, bless you. It jumped the other day because it hasn't even been out a month. Oh, I like the look of that, Picard. They are the same colour. We've just got different screen settings. Packer, you're not a reader, are you? Really? Your mic's off, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't read at all, hardly ever, other than what I'm looking at on YouTube. I haven't read a book for over 20 years.
And you're getting on all right with that one, are you?
I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I am getting quite near the end, and I am slowing myself down by huge amounts in order to not finish it, Chris, because I know it's going to be
Oh,
no, because I know it's going to be an absolute age before you publish another bloody book.
no, this year. It'll have to be this year, or
Well,
I
then
don't
I'll
eat.
finish the first one.
Um,
I'm really enjoying because I was in 1980. Where is it? 86. It's
yeah,
86,
it's
and I was
86.
I was 16, right?
So a couple of years older than the
Yeah,
narrator.
yeah, and 16 is equally as important in coming of age terms as 14 is, and
Yeah.
of that time, I remember it so well. And the way you describe things, the way you lay it out is just brilliant. It just takes me straight back. I'm so thoroughly enjoy. I don't want to finish it. To be honest,
Oh,
I'm enjoying it.
any writer will tell you everything you just said is just gold dust. Because, I had a colleague the other day reading it and he went, "It's not literature. I don't know what it is, but it ain't literature." Okay, but I'm a storyteller. I don't, who's the arbiter of what literature is? But it's not an argument I care about. I'm a storyteller. And hearing you say that, that's just perfect because that's what I wanted to do. I want people who enjoy reading, you've already sort of got them on side to an extent because they enjoy reading. But if you haven't picked up a book for God knows how long and you don't want it to end, as a writer, that's what a lovely thing to say. And thank you for
No, it's
saying that.
brilliant. It's because the way you've written it is like in diary inserts almost of like
Yeah.
this is what
It's
happened
a
today.
journal.
This is what happened this week. So you can pick the book up and you can read 40, 50 pages, fine. Or you can pick the book up and you can read 5 or 6 pages, fine. It's equally good because every time you turn the page in the book, it's like a new day. And it's just your perspective of like, and this is what's happening in my life this week, which is what you're like when you're that age.
Yeah.
You don't like honestly the lad that you were has got fucking no idea, has he? And it's
You want to
brilliant
say
because
it again?
he's got no idea what's coming,
No, no,
and
no.
and and none of us did. It's fantastic.
Thank you, man. That means a real lot to me. And thank you, Alan. That also means a real lot to me. Um, yeah, nice one. The reason I'm not going to just sit here promoting my book. This is a call in. This is the last thing I'll say about it. But to get 21 reviews and it hasn't been out a month yet is insanity. They're great reviews, they're all great reviews, mind blown. And it went, it's always moving. Amazon. There's between 6 and 9,000 books uploaded every day. That's not just self-publishers. People like Penguin put their books on Amazon. Big writers like Lee Childs, who writes Reacher, who sells millions of copies, they put their books on Amazon. Of course they do. It's another revenue stream, and it was at 75,000 in books in general, and I was well happy with that. And then I had to go to the page because the AI summary is sending the wrong message, and I've been talking to Amazon about it. They keep saying they'll fix it, and they haven't. Um, and it jumped up to 25,000 in books. In every book on Amazon, it's 25,000, and it hasn't been up for a month yet. And I'm just like, okay, maybe this is a risk worth taking. I did get a bit shaky earlier though when I got this contract from a business partner. I thought, I don't screw it all up with all this. He's on the take, and anyway. Thank you, Alan. Bless you. I hope you're having a cracker. I hope you got your feet up somewhere.
There's a coffee as well.
Oh, is it? Amazing. Amazing. Go over there. If Chris and Jimmy are here, sorry about the late replies. I've done them today, but I was waiting for the bloody video replies to come in, and they're still not working. There's 2 coffees. Old Marzipan, he see that calling, and he thought, I'm having some of that. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Do a bit of that, bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. Thank you, Alan. Bless you. Oh, and we've got another. Charlie Sparkles is on the firm. On the firm. Christmas firm member. And Mars a tutu. Absolutely incredible. Excuse the Italiano today. I mean, I know it exempts certain people. I tell you what, the fan is wobbling my green screen. It's so precarious today. Anyway, nice one, Charlie. Right, so a quick one over here, and then we'll get into the groove. Let me see if I can remember how to stream. This is on Buy Me a Coffee. Bosh. JP bought 5. That's so kind of you, John. Nice one, mate. He says this. Merry Christmas, Danger, and to your missus. Oi, darling. John Palmer said Merry Christmas. There you go. She says Merry Christmas. And even though I've...
Merry Christmas!
There you go. Packers, probon mutknyom niai Merry Christmas on. Yeah, she said thanks very much and Merry Christmas to you. Oh, she's coming. She's not gonna. I don't think she'll. You know, come on. She's got a towel on. She started saying "man." She started saying things like, "You want a cup of tea, man?" And I'm like, what? Anyway, John said, Merry Christmas, Danger, and to your missus. 2025 has been utter garbage. Roll on 2026. I'm an Essex boy. Get me out of here. Good Lord. Would you move, John, if you could? I mean, it relies on a lot, doesn't it? I was lucky that I work remotely. I still do. But I might have to come to England. The missus don't want to come. She said she will, but later. Oh, she's just woken up. You've got to be careful, love. Don't touch that or it'll fall over.
Mrs. Packer's saying, come to Lincolnshire, John. And I agree. It's very rural. You'll like it. Hello.
Hello, people.
Go on, say it.
Say it for me.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
There you go. Say Merry Christmas, Mrs. Packer. Easy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Mrs. Packer. Mrs. Packer.
Mrs. Packer.
Yeah, just say Probon Packer.
Probon Packer.
There you go. Go on. He said I've gone. There you go. Careful, no, careful, really. It will fall over. Thank you, John. Marzipan has bought a future. Thank you, Marzipan. Ian Mar, all the way from Scotland. And let me get rid of that because that's. I'll call in, yeah. Well, let's get on with that right now. Let's get on with the calling. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. No way does that work. Look at that. Wow. Oh, look, Packer sat up. Like, it was like, it's a new world. This is the most Christmas I've had all day, actually. Lovely to see you all. 50 people. I didn't expect a lot. It's a weird time of day, isn't it? Most people are probably eating or still in bed going, oh. Did you have a few drinks last night, Packer?
Yes, and I'm 5 into the Bucks Fizz this morning. Well, 4.5.
And why not? And why not?
So I might be quite litty, Chris, to be fair, because I've had a few.
You're all right. That's what it's all about. It's incredible. Hello, William Van Lierop. People don't know, but I know William Van Lierop. He's a crane driver, but man, has he got some stories. He's also Scottish, but you can't. You're picking out like sounds that you vaguely recognise, and you sort of, if you sort of have to try and put them into some sort of coherent sentence. But when you can get them, and what's incredible about his stories, you think it's going to be nothing. The build up is nothing, but the payoff is spectacular. Like he told, sorry about this, Bill. I'm going to mention it. I always get it a little bit wrong. I'm sure you'll correct me. But he told me something once about some brass who asked him if he'd do a wee on some solicitors' heads for money. He used to have problems, and certain problems need paying for, and so that they're the sort of jobs when you're desperate. They're the sort of jobs you get offered. Do you remember telling me that, Bill? Anyway, nice to see you here, mate, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're looking after yourself, and happy Christmas. No way is Barkley in here. Look, he's seen it. See. Sorry, I can't. That Kai thing. It's been Barkley for so long. I dropped that in my novel for you as well. Why does someone name their kid after a bank? I think is the line. Yeah, Will. It's not quite the same, is it? Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things I will do, but I'm sure you will. Not a problem. I don't know what that means. Yes, Sufist, Suffist. I never remember. I'm going to stick with Sufist. What is it, Packer? Suffist. I've asked him so many times.
I think it's toughest.
I'm gonna stick with Suffist. I know I've asked you so many times, Suffist, that I feel embarrassed not remembering. But yeah, I'll tell you who did. Humans A. Give it 4 stars. Here's the thing. That's not a bad thing. If your novel gets all 5 stars, it flags Amazon's friends and family investigation. It's like my brother bought it, and I said to my brother, "Don't leave a review, because if it has my surname, and they've got so much data on us now, they can start. If you don't think, like the old 6 degrees of separation, like Packer knows me, I know someone who knows someone who knows someone, and before long, 6 degrees will get Packer to anyone in the world, and it's kind of been proven." It's a bit like that with data on the internet now, and Amazon are really clamping down on it. I mean, if you've got a big family and your book is utter trash, you can just get loads of amazing reviews. You can get AI to write, and they're using AI checks on them as well, which is ironic since their own AI summary is negatively representing my book. However, some customers have said the pacing is awkward and embarrassing. No, they haven't. Not one. No one has. Thanks. That's really helpful. ChatGPT said it will help me though, because customers will probably have a look at the reviews then. Sweet. But when you try and click on see more reviews, you get a picture of a dog. And Amazon says, sorry, this page isn't working. I'm starting to feel like they're picking on me now. I'm starting to feel like they're like, nah, we don't want to be promoting this nudie mag nonsense. Anyway, I've spoken for far too long. Emma G got a copy for Christmas, but didn't you buy your other half a copy for Christmas as well? I think it was Packer that said we knew you'd do that. Well,
Emma G was like, oh, we got each other the same book for Christmas. And everyone else knew that was happening.
I didn't. I must admit, I didn't. But nice one, Emma. I hope the pair of you enjoy it. Marzipan's going to order it. I don't know why, but that seems to sit more. That's got more believability than Barclays. I think because Barclay capitalised Will. Listen, people, if you want it, buy it. If you don't. That's But it is lovely when Packer says things like that. And I've had other friends tell me, one of my bestest friends yesterday just sent a picture of the book, and he put underneath it, "Oh, he's done another Bucks Fizz, people. He's going to come out in his I've forgotten her name. Who's the one, the really saucy one? We spent a whole video once looking at her legs. Cheryl Baker. She's in the novel. Right, when he gets back, well, Sophist, he's had it for about a week. Nice one, mate. Fair play for that. Yeah, give it a go. Ams is on the firm today. Right, no more. That's half an hour I've been talking. Let's open the doors. Why is nothing happening over there? Right, here we go, people. It will probably be only one person at a time, and not for very long either. Don't feel like I'm jogging you on. I just want to. There might be a lot of people who are at home on their own, and it'll be nice for them to have a little chat. So 5-10 minutes, and then I'll jog you on. If a lot of people don't come on, then you might get a little bit longer. But I'm not just going, oh, this is dull. It's not about that today. This is just the annual Christmas stream. Right, here we go. Oh, excuse me. Link in the chat. JP says his review was the best. We're now going to get into the competing reviews. I'll tell you whose review I thought was the best. I'll tell you what one Amazon thought was the best. Because they reorder them. People, if you leave a review and you bought it, you've got to log into your account before you leave a review. Because if you don't get the verified purchase. And then, although people can see it, it doesn't count for anything in Amazon's algorithm. Because anyone could just leave a review. So there's that. I know Emma Glass. She left a review and didn't. But to get that verified review, you've got to have spent something like 40 quid on Amazon in the last year. They're just trying to stop people gaming the system, really. Video Vigilantes F 4:17 a.m. Where am I? Poole? No, I am not in Poole. Close. Cambodia. Oh, Kai is in here. Kai is up first. There he is. Barclay, would you prefer Kai or Barclay?
You can call me whatever. I've been going on these pub tours a lot of nationalists go to, and I keep people, oh Barclay, how have you been? I used to watch you on Dangerfield. So I still get it oddly more than you'd think I would, even though I've been Kai for as long as I've been Barclay now, probably.
So you've gone back to the, what's that? Is that an energy drink or an alcoholic beverage?
It's a can of Monster. It's my Christmas treat.
Yeah, I mean, I've never. I had a sip of a Red Bull once. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, I have indulged in substances. It's fair to say, but I don't like taking medication. Like, even if I've got an headache, I won't take paracetamol. And those energy drinks, they just seem. You always have to pay the piper. If you get shit faced, you're going to get hungover. If you have an energy drink, you're going to get an energy spike, and then you're going to slump. Like, I'm even funny with tea. My tea bag gets a little kind of wave almost, just a little. What would you call it?
Little plonk.
A plonk.
A little grace of the water.
Yeah.
A gentle gracing of the water.
I gently grace the water with the tea bag. It's perfect, Barclay. And even then, it's in like a litre metal beaker. Oh, it's a litre metal beaker.
That is outrageous. I've known you 2 years and I had no idea you drank your tea like that. That's awful.
It's quite perverse, isn't it? I get like a little teaspoon. I'm pushing it against the side of the mug trying to get as much tea out as possible.
It's a crime against tea.
Nah,
yeah.
I see
the art is you put the tea bag in the cup and you pour the water on while it's boiling. So that
I do that.
The boiling water enters the bag and makes the bag expand.
Right, first thing, it's always milk in the cup for me first.
Oh my
But
God.
no, that's
Oh,
British standard.
unsub.
British
Unsub.
standard. Right, in the chat, milk first or not. And then I pour boiling water on the tea bag, but as soon as it reaches the top of the litre metal container with a sort of a thermal cover, we had this the other day, I take it out. Now, I'll tell you why, though. I've got an history of headaches. I know I've probably got something growing in there I was born
Oh,
with.
don't.
Oh, he's now going to qualify this by telling us
fair
that
point.
he's.
Got something my old man. But when I used to drink a lot of tea, and by a lot of tea, I mean 3 or 4 cups a day, when I stopped, I just got incredible headaches. And that is a symptom of caffeine withdrawal. And I don't need anything. I don't need anything to give me more chance of an headache. But I do love a tea with a cake when I'm writing. And I'm writing most nights. I won't be, I will be tonight. She wants some action. She's demanding it. But I said to her, yeah, it's Christmas night. I won't be writing tonight. But after she takes from me. She'll take 3 or 4. And I'll tell you what, she started scoring the orgasms. Like afterwards, it's always 1 or 0 for me. I'm always 1 or 0 because I'm a bloke and I'm not 18. I can't do 2 anymore. And so afterwards, she just gets off, slaps me around the face, and she goes 3-1, or she'll go 3-0. And I'm like, but the beauty is, then I can get on with my real life.
Yeah, I hear these Easterners are very transactional. It really goes to show, doesn't it? Scoring the orgasms.
Yeah, it's a recent thing. I was talking to Pax Max. We had a members-only audio chat yesterday. Well, we nearly did, but Packer's mic weren't working. I don't know what was happening there. It was weird, man. It was a shame. Am I loud enough, by the way? Because my microphone's...
Yeah.
I've just moved it. It might be a bit clearer for some people. So, Kai, what is your Christmas? It's a call-in, and I haven't stopped talking as per usual. So, what's happening to you today?
Around about 3 people. Merry Christmas to you too, Packer, and everyone in the chat, and you too, of course, Chris. Today I'm going to be going to visit my mum's side of family. Last year, I sort of managed to line up. So for breakfast, I was around my mate's house. Lunch, I'm around my dad's side of family, but it's already worked out that way this year. But I still get my mum at the very least.
Can I just ask a question? Are we checking out a new pad here, Kai?
This is the same house I've been living in for the past 3 years.
It looks totally different, doesn't it? Yeah, that dirty old student flat has turned into something rather swish. I was thinking exactly that.
Gone and bought a crib, yeah.
I think this has got a standing desk on, or you can see more of the room. Yeah, the drum kit's still where it's always been.
Yeah, but why is it all maybe you never usually turn the light on.
Maybe that could be it. Obviously, it's during the day you can see more.
Well, it looks tickety-boo.
Oh, thank you. I've got a Joseph Watson map as well.
It looks like you've got quite a snazzy little pad there. This Video Vigilante, this novel is written from a 14-year-old, well, this person's 14-year-old experience. It's like a 14-year-old's journal. If it weren't for Charlie Bukowski, I wouldn't have, well, maybe I would, but it was reading Post Office, and the way I saw what Bukowski, I'm assuming you're a fan of Bukowski. It's hard not to be, isn't it? I know people who resentfully like Bukowski, but what is, as far as I'm concerned, what his skill is what he does with so little material. Sort of like 20 pages, especially in Post Office. For people who haven't read it, he works in a post office. It's a very boring, grim job. He's an alcoholic. He's got a penchant for ladies of easy leisure. And that's it. That's the story. And this is his first novel. and he just, there's not a lot of that's not a lot to work with, and yet for someone like me who didn't grow up reading, was put off reading at school. I was 13, and it was like, right, today we're gonna this term we're gonna read Macbeth by William Shakespeare. One of the greatest writers of all time, stage writers of all time at least, who dominated literature for 500 years. I'm gonna put off a whole generation by giving it to them when they're 12. It was ridiculous. And then the other thing they done, I mean, look at that. Steinbeck, is it? Did Steinbeck write The Pearl?
You're asking
We
the wrong
read,
people.
we read The Pearl, but it was the one where instead of the teacher reading it, or kids who could read reading it, everyone got a chance. And so, out of focus. And so it'd be like you'd have to read a page, and then she'd call out the next bloke's name, then whoever's sitting next to them. And some people are just sort of, oh, John and Mandy walked down to the beach. They noticed that the sun was dipping low. That time of the season, I suppose, she said. He felt the water come up to his knees and said, I'm going to go out working. Like, lovely, I can follow this. And then he gets to the end of his page and she's like, right, Darren. And he's like, and it's like, and that, and I missed The Pearl. I read it later in life.
We would do a lot of pre-gaming with the books. When we were reading To Kill a Mockingbird, we'd check to see, all right, which page has got the M word on it, which page has got swearing. We're doing so. I'll do the next bit, miss. And of course, back when I was 13, 8 years ago, they would still let you say it in class. They probably don't anymore. So maybe I was one of the last good years I got to enjoy books they were supposed to be. The way they're supposed to be.
What we done to compensate for the tedium of people who couldn't read, and I'm not blaming them. It wasn't their strength. They weren't interested. It wasn't their strength. They had other strengths. We've all got strengths and weaknesses, but it was just a stupid thing to do. It didn't make them a better reader. It moved them away from reading because they were humiliated in front of the rest of the class. They were struggling. Some of them might have been dyslexic and undiagnosed. And they when everyone's going, and laughing at them when they can't pronounce words, do you think they go home and go, I'm going to read because that made me feel great today?
It was a once a week ritual humiliation for anyone with a stupid voice breaking, or a stutter.
Yeah, or just not.
I remember a kid in our class that just his voice made us all laugh. Just his voice, just him talking out loud made us laugh. So every time he had to read out loud, everyone in the class pissed himself laughing.
Awful. Yeah. So in terms of this novel, no, but there is an element of Bukowski in some of my other work. Yeah, an element though, it's not like Bukowski. But bless Bukowski, bless him for standing by what he wanted to do. He tried and tried and tried. He didn't actually make it. And by make it, I mean sell a novel until I think he was 52. And in those days, it was easier. In those days, there was magazines. There wasn't so much on telly, and and cinema was expensive and all that. People used to buy books. Like newsstands, like Pulp Fiction, there were like Philip K. Dick, E. Doc Smith, all those early sci-fi writers. They were churning out novels one a month that have become classics, but they were just professional writers earning a living, and it's the same for the cover artists. Robert Maguire, what's his name? McGinn, is it? I think it's Robert McGinn. These are beautiful paintings. That now you can buy hardback books that have like these beautiful colour plates, but they would do one of them in like a couple of days, working round type. And their understanding of light, form, line, composition, incredible. But they were jobbing illustrators and jobbing writers. Charlie Dickens, go on.
I was going to say, I did work for a little bit in a book warehouse, just sort of doing picking. So obviously moving from where they'd been ordered, collecting them all together. And what I noticed is that more modern books or more recently made ones, that the covers are like just all so formulaic. They're all just incredibly minimalist. There's not really much design to them. Sometimes there might be a little bit like how you get like a fancy business card where you might have a sort of embossed line or something like that. I don't know if that'd be the correct term.
Hang on, what sort of books were they though? Because what you tend to
literally
get is
anything and everything. Self-help
but-
books were most like that, and science books.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What they tell you on with self-publishing is that cover's got to reflect the genre. That's why almost every fantasy book will have a character. It will be a bit sort of dark and gloomy. And you type in fantasy books on Amazon, they're nearly all the same. You type romance into Amazon, they're nearly all the same. I broke the first rule of self-publishing and designed my own cover. And when I sent it to a professional cover designer, he said, nothing needs doing to it. He said, it needs a little bit of centering. You know, he charged, it said he charged between 800 and 1,200 quid. And I thought, well, this is important to me. I'll give it a go. He charged me, I think, about 80 quid because all he had to do was center it and design the spine.
It's the type.
Happy days.
You got the type spot on.
Yeah, because I nicked it from someone else who had a very successful novel in 1972.
Yeah, and in the mid 80s, that's the porn we were looking at.
I didn't look at it.
Yes, you did, and that's how you nailed it.
I don't want to ruin anything. We're back to the novel, but Packer is on the Bucks Fizz and it is Christmas. I've written to Linda Lasardi's agent because I want a quote from her. Have you read that bit, Packer? Or you don't remember it? Yeah,
no, yeah.
That would be amazing to get a Lasardi quote on it. But this is where the strengths and weaknesses of the title. If the title was different, but I don't think Lasardi's agent will want her to be associated with such which is a shame, I guess. I don't know. JP says, I'm running away. I hate this country now. It's, I'm starting to change my tune on how things are going to go. I heard the other day that a lot of immigrant students are planning on doing the off as soon as they've got their degree. They're all off to Dubai. There you go.
Is that from Nick Griffin?
It absolutely was. Yeah, with Teddy Dutton.
Yeah.
But I looked into it, Barclay. I didn't. No one takes Nick Griffin seriously without a bit of, you need a bit of backup. But not only that, I mean, without a doubt, the country has become a lot more hostile to people who our taxes are paying to put up in hotels, and a lot of dramas happen around those hotels. So, for a lot of people, they're not here for the weather. They're not here for the food. I'm starting to think even just 2 years ago, I assumed I thought there might be quite a high chance of civil war. But I'm starting to think it might iron itself out quite naturally. And it's just like most people, they've, look at like Rochdale and Bradford and most of that sort of part of the country. They're horrible places to live. Now you can argue why all day long. I think I know why, but this is a Christmas stream. But it's not only bad for the natives. It's also not a good place to live for immigrants because it's hostile, it's unpleasant, it's dangerous. There's no construction work going on. So even if you're not engaged in anti-native activities, you might think it's time to go. This place, for those people, this place it's at its day. And while the so-called extremists might hang around, I think it's a minority, a considerable minority, and they won't be able to hide as easily. That might just be optimism. but I like to be optimistic. What do you think about that?
Right now, there's still a minority, and of that minority, a minority are fundamentalists, is what you're saying. And when it when it turns into a shithole, and actually, what you believe in doesn't exist where you are, but it does somewhere else, well, you just go there then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, now there is the argument that none of them spoke up and must have known what their sons and cousins and all that were doing. But
it's not right now. It's not affecting them, is it?
Exactly. Well, it wasn't. It is now because people know that. So, Barclay, you're still heavily involved in all that on a political level, aren't you? What's the sort of, give me the lowdown on what people think, where things are going, or does that not exist?
Well, I think where things are going, and this is where I see things going, you've got the Labour Party, the Tory Party, and Reform, who are all trying to jump over each other. No, we're actually the most anti-immigration. No, we hate it the most. No, we're going to get rid of the most. And they're all going at it. So we can see under Labour that net migration has gone down from 800,000 to 200,000. So that's 600,000 left. And some people say, yeah, but how many people left the country who are British? It's about 250,000. That's the same as it's always been, right? Right. It's not really gone up or down. It's pretty much always been at 250 odd K. Wow. So still, we've got 400,000 people coming in. It's better than 1 million. I imagine Reform leading the ECHR and the EHRC will do a lot of the groundwork for nationalism. It will make deportation.
Barclay, can you tell us the full names of those organisations for people who don't know? I don't.
The Equality and Human Rights Commission is the EHRC. That's a UK-based quango. And then you have the European European Commission. I can't remember that one.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Okay, so they're quangos.
I've had too much monster and not enough water. European Court of Human Rights, the ECHR, that's what it is.
There you
Equality
go.
Human Rights
For people who don't know what a quango is, it's weird to hear Barclay say, it's very much an 80s thing. It's a quasi-autonomous, non-governmental organisation. It's an NGO, but NGOs tend not to be non-governmental anyway. I mean, there's plenty of NGOs that have received government funding, but they just do it like around the houses a bit. But a quango is a pejorative, for sure. And
it's also state. It got like power granted to it by the state. Yeah. So the way I look.
Sorry, Barclay, I wasn't ignoring that. I just had a quick look at the chat. Explain that. So there are non-government organisations that have had power granted to them. In what way?
So the European Court of Human Rights is largely why people aren't getting deported when they should be. So when you hear these horrific stories of, I won't say it for the sake of keeping your channel's algorithm in good touch, but the most horrific things happening to the world, to like British children, and then it's like, oh well, we can't deport this person because they're a vegan or something like that, or because they're scared that they're going to face some serious punishment back in Yemen, which they wouldn't face in Britain. Or we had one in Norwich where they had been trying to solicit images from a 14-year-old boy. They got done. They said, "Oh, we can't deport them because being gay in Yemen is punishable by, very serious measures." Hang
on. Whoa. You can't send someone back to their country for crimes they've committed in this country because they'll get punished in their country.
It was more the case because he was doing something gay specifically. It was a human rights one because he's gay. But you get other ones where it'll be like, my daughter wouldn't like the food in Albania, so I can't be deported back to Albania. Like the most bizarre stuff that gets people away from justice, essentially. And of course, we know that these people would face a lot more serious punishment.
Happy Christmas, Toby. Sorry, Bart, go on.
So we're seeing Labour lowering immigration levels, and maybe the country isn't as attractive under Labour, right? And then we're going to see Reform getting rid of a lot of the quangos. However, Reform won't solve immigration because fundamentally they're a libertarian Atlanticist party. And it's going to be very similar to Trump, where they'll, he's been giving amnesty to illegal immigrant farm workers and things like that. They'll do the same here. They'll still maintain a level of immigration, because if you look at who's funding reform, you've got Nick Candy, who's a billionaire because of housing, right? How did you become a billionaire? Because of immigration. His funders all of a sudden aren't going to be getting all their top bits of income thwarted. It makes no sense.
Right, hang on. Sorry, Barclay. Great information. We're going to get back to it, but let's get this sorted once and for all. It's actually SUF, but I woke up with my head on the keyboard while I was making. So it's SUF. We'll call you SUF. Scrubs. It's SUF. Right. So that's not SUF, is it? Or you ought to put 2 U's. Right. A few people on. Yeah, hello, SUF. Pizzle's on the firm as well. So's Charlie Ken, right? So's Mr. Gold. So's Pags. So the Human says, 4 stars it is. This conveys the best is yet to come. It's a good wriggle. I like it. Thanks for leaving a review, man. If you didn't think it was 5 stars, then, I'm just heartbroken. Nothing wrong with that. Pizzle's on the firm. So... I feel like I haven't got an answer to my question. What do you think is going to happen? And in what time scale? Do you think? Look, here, let me. I'll make the question's a bit too broad anyway.
I have a pretty specific answer for it. I was just sort of giving a not particularly brief one, but but I'll just let me finish where I was going with that, right? So. Labour are lowering immigration now. Reform are going to keep it low, but they're not going to solve demographic change. People in Britain are becoming severely racially conscious. They're aware that they are English. They're not just, part of this amalgamous civic blob anymore. When you see people doing the flagging, that's them, essentially marking out the racial lines of an area. Every time I see an England flag, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. And I think it's just, frankly, it's going to pave the way for, a better, a real nationalist party, because people aren't going to have Farage. Farage will probably cock everything up and things will still get worse. Right. And then, it'll leave the way for hopefully something a bit better. It's a BMP badge. Oh, I think that's the way things are going.
I mean, I'm no fan of Nigel Farage, but I do think it's a necessary, and necessary is not the right word. You're not going to go from what we've got now to what we want. It's going to be small steps, and I feel like it's a small step in the right direction with problems. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I would say they're going to give people the taste of patriotism and racialism, and then the next thing you demand, when they're not getting it to a satisfactory level from reform, there's going to need to be a sort of premier nationalist party in place. However, at the moment, there are some that exist, but there are none that are going to, at this point in time, take place, because either they've been pretty much destroyed or they've just not gotten started yet. So, a good... two to compare, you could have, say, the Homeland Party, which was going in that direction, all of a sudden started absorbing all the energy that's being built and still rapidly building. But then, unfortunately, the driver of the car drove into oncoming traffic instead of speeding down the inner lane, right? So that's destroyed. But then you've got the British Democrats as another example, where they're all, experienced activists with great knowledge, intelligent people, solicitors who are from the BNP, but they're all getting on quite a bit. They don't really understand the online world, but they've never had any controversies. They've been inoffensive. I think they've got the most potential, but other than that, we're pretty hard pressed for parties. They all suck pretty much. Other than British Dems, they're pretty inoffensive.
Are Reform going to win the election?
Yeah,
I think so.
Especially with your party coming in to split the vote between the Labour Party and the Greens. I think Reform are going to win in some pretty shocking places.
Barclay, you used the word racialism. What's that?
When I say racialism, I just mean people are getting I said it in the context of reform, giving people a taste of racialism. I mean racial consciousness, being aware of your ethnic group, who you are, your actual identity. I think people are starting to believe that we're not all British, basically.
this is the thing that I know it rubs a lot of people up the wrong way, but this is why I refuse to throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to someone like Marx or Adorno, because look, I don't think Marx's solutions, I've got no interest in them, but the understanding of the problem and the understanding of how to organise, like Hungarian son of Hungarian aristocracy, George Lukács, wrote a book called Reification, history, something like this, history, reification, and class consciousness. And I think that's what you're talking about with racialism, that now the English are understanding that there is a racial consciousness. Marx was always going on about to the working people, you're not just individuals with no power. As a group, you've got the most power in the nation. You've got more power than the petty bourgeoisie. You've got more power than the ruling elites. Did you hear any of that, Barclay, or when you've got your headphones on, you don't?
Sorry, I just need to get a drink quickly. But you speak about Theodore Adorno and Marx and not throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
George Lukács wrote a lot about class consciousness, and I think what you're talking about is racial consciousness, and the idea that you're not all just individuals with no power. If you understand you're part of a racial, if you understand racial consciousness, you're part of a group that is actually still in England very powerful. But you've got to organise without a doubt. And even with the terrible reputation, history, and failures of communism, they still managed to organise and get class consciousness in other nations in later years. And do you know what I mean? Even after the absolute mess of Lenin and Stalin, you still got Pol Pot coming along and getting the working people to come together. That didn't go well, but in terms of organising and in terms of class consciousness, I think that's what's happening at the moment. I think that's what you're saying. There's a racial consciousness kind of. Happy Christmas, everyone.
I think in terms of class consciousness, you always saw nationalist movements historically have always been class cooperative, where people of different classes unite under the banner of the racial consciousness. Which I think is a positive thing. Hierarchy is quite natural to human beings in society. So I think as long as there's mutual respect for all classes, maybe this is like pie in the sky fantasy talk, but I think that's a good thing. If you look at groups like the British National Party, you had people from literally all walks of life who would be involved in there at every single level. There was no discrimination there at all.
Yeah. I think it's the creation of the third enemy. I think. When it's going to, even if you're the petty bourgeoisie or the ruling elite, if the country's going down the pan to what some people call foreign invaders, you've got to put those problems aside for a bigger cause. I just want to round up. JP's been on the firm for 51 months. Alan dropped a bullseye. Charlie's on the firm. John Fuse dropped a lady. Hi Barclay. Hi Chris. Hi Scrubs. Merry Christmas all. Packer, you got put into the all group there, which is I'm quite happy about that, mate. Give me a tick.
I've always been happy with that.
Oh,
I am the all.
Oh, Dave's Waffle House. Are we ever going to talk, Dave? Young David? I've been studying you. He says, Merry Christmas, Chris, to you and the missus and all the scrubs. Hoyt legend crew. I don't know what that means, but I like the end. Great. It's weird, actually, Dave. I'm judging by your behaviour on your streams. I get the feeling you've probably done quite a lot of acid in your time. And for me, around Christmas was a nightmare because you go down the boozer, a couple of purple oms, and all you're hearing is people saying, Chris, Chris. Because everyone's talking about Christmas and you're just like, oh, this one's not going too well. Nice one, everyone. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, John, Alan, and JP, and Charlie. Amazing. Oh, hang on. A couple have come through. Leon says reform a Trojan horse. Oh, we'll have to pick this one up, Barks. For Islamic acceleration. Currently, minimum 7K Muslims in most towns. A garrison in every town, which is what Gavin Bobby says about you build the mosque, you take over the town. It's a castle.
I watched a very interesting video the other day.
Packer, 1 second. Thank you for the donation, Leon, and I hope you have a good Christmas, and we'll see what the lads feel about your comment.
Yeah, I watched a very interesting video the other day by a guy called Auditing Britain. Now, if anybody's aware of auditors, they just generally go around with a camera and film from public, which is perfectly legal, and see how annoying they can be about it.
They really are annoying, in fairness.
Yeah, go film security guards in a job centre. Wow. Really sticking it to the man.
So there's this one guy in Britain, and he went to a migrant hotel. He put it out a day ago. He ends up getting chased by about 20 blokes. They are throwing bits of fence at him, swinging what appeared to be a golf club at him, chasing him with a bottle.
What, people who are living
in the
hotel?
Men, yeah, a mob of men come out of the hotel and attack him. Right? Cops turn up. 2 cops turn up, right? And they, fair enough to the cops. I've got to say they came off fairly well, you know.
Okay.
At some points you could see the cringe on their face, right?
That's a change, isn't it? That's
an older copper and a younger copper, and they turn up and they're treating it as a proper incident. Fair play to them, they treat it well. And the younger copper says, I'll go in then. And the older copper says, no, don't go in there. What does that tell you?
Yeah, it's not safe.
What happens is he gets chased by this mob of blokes and hit with various things. And he, at one point, he turns around and lamps one and floors him. And I believe, I'm unsure, but I think he was chasing him with a weapon in his hand. This guy that he turned around and lamped. So anyway, the coppers turn up, an ambulance turns up, goes into the hotel. Eventually, some other coppers turn up. They check him over. He's a bit grazed and bruised. He's got several bruises on his head where they've hit him with stuff, and he seems concussed. And they honestly, they're treating him really well. And then eventually, what the coppers do go into the hotel. And then the older copper, who's the one who eventually goes in, comes out and says, I've spoken with CID. Unfortunately, at this moment, because someone has been injured, I am now arresting you for GBH. So he's now being arrested for turning around and lamping one of the 20 people that were chasing him with weapons. And you can see it on the copper's face.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And right, so I don't know, because this video appears to have been taken possibly in the summer. So I don't know how old it is, but the coppers do say to him, like, if you put any of this online, obviously it's going to affect any case that you might have.
Yeah, I'd still be putting that online immediately and hoping it affects you positively. Yeah, I just have to do this, people, because it's only fair. I'll have to check that out, actually, Packer. I'm sure I'll be able to find it.
Auditing Britain.
Auditing Britain, all right. Dave Iper bought a future. He said the shameless plug worked. Just pull the trigger on your book. Bless you, Dave. Well, it's a shameless plug. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll spend a lot of time and effort. And Roy Hunter for the Water Buffalo. Yeah, good call, Roy. Nice to see you over in these parts. Lovely. Thank you very much, people. We've got a couple more super chat. So Leon Barclay, what do you reckon about that?
former Trojan horse for Islamic extremism. I don't. Possibly, I don't know. I've not really gotten that impression from it. I think they're just more. They're just more of a saying, but put in a more patriotic manner. So maybe they would accidentally be it, but I don't think it'd be by intention. Obviously, having Muhammad Zahir Yusuf. They drop the Muhammad because Zahir Yusuf sounds a bit more trendy, I suppose. Having a Muslim. He's not a chairman. I don't know what he is in reform now, but he was. Obviously, that's a major red flag. I can't really trust him to sort out the Islamic immigration issue.
It's a bit odd. Barclay, I'm going to have to let you go because you've been on here for about 30 minutes after I said 5 minutes. Anything you want to leave us with?
I would say I think the best is yet to come. There's more of us than ever before. And if we can collect all that energy, I think Britain and patriotic British people stand a fighting chance. That is all.
And I have noticed that young people, it's a small window because it's friends of mine's kids. They're having kids, man. They're breeding and they want big families. I'm seeing it.
The friends that I made in a PA back in the day, when I was 15, and some of them are now on to having their third child, and they had none when I met them. So good patriotic people are having kids. I'll give you a little statistic actually. There was a poll done where it was asking 12 to 18-year-olds their voting intention, because of course they're going to be able to vote in the upcoming elections. And with the girls, it was kind of like a lot of them wanted to vote Green, about 40%. But with the boys, right, the younger they got, it was like an exponential growth for reform. So you have 12-year-olds and, 45 to 50% of 12-year-olds support reform. Now, bear in mind, that's also factoring in the fact that, this is nearly they're probably close to being a minority in their generation, the white British kids are. And a significant, huge portion of them want to vote for reform. What do you think a 12-year-old thinks the Reform Party is? They don't think it's a sensible Thatcherite economics party, which has got a disciplined measure of immigration. No, they think it's the kick them out party. They think it's a you're going home party. And one last anecdote: I reunited with my stepbrother Luke, who was my stepmom's. One of my stepmom's youngest son, and he's doing Brick Lane, and he told me, he's like, all the kids in my class, they support reform, all 50 of them. And one of them came into class with a bald head. I asked him why. He said, it's because I'm a skinhead. So skinheads are making a comeback, apparently, the next generation. I'm sure we don't have too much to worry about.
I think things are looking up. Barclay, you enjoy the rest of your Christmas. Leave those energy drinks alone. You're a bit high. You're looking well. You're sounding good. Get out there and enjoy your life.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas,
Ta-da, mate. What a lovely, lovely lad. 42 donated. Merry Christmas, Danger, Packer and Barclay. Barclay won't have heard that because he only comes on to go on. As soon as he's off, he's doing something else now.
It's gone now.
Barclay, on the off chance your computer's even still switched on, are you going to celebrate England Day? He might still be around. I might just be making it up. Nice one, 42. I hope you're having a cracker as well. I've got your email about, I don't know if it's a secret, but a joint stream. The way things are at the moment, I don't know when I'm available or not. The chances are I will be, but I think you mentioned something like I could just jump on and jump off. So the chances are I will, if that's all right, if that's still an option. Nice one, mate. I hope you're well and enjoying Christmas. Scorry, hello, mate. Merry Christmas. Have a great day. All can't stop. Look, he jumped in, donated, supported, and jumped out. Sorry, mate. I hope you are still here to be recognised. Mousecat, who's now Mousecat-J9M. Merry Christmas. This is clever. I don't know if his missus is in earshot, but he keeps writing me these emails. Mousecat is having this sort of midlife philosophical relifer. And he's writing to me about like Western metaphysics and Derrida, and then he's like, I would read more, but I can't go into the rest of it because it's private stuff between them. But it is hilarious, and by the detail in the emails, he's not just browsing; he's doing the work. And it's really exciting to see. Thank you, Mouse Cat. I hope you're well. I hope you and the missus are having a good Christmas. Right, I'll put the invite in the chat. And if someone wants to come in, you can. I was only going to do a short one because I'm now cutting into my Christmas evening. You've got to remember, over here, it's now 8:15. But that's all right. I can get away with another 30, 40 minutes, I imagine. She only wants pleasing. I'm not. Oh, hello. I think it was better like that today, didn't it, Bag? I think
Yeah.
that's better. Yeah. Look at it. Look at that lovely background, though. You know,
Very nice. I quite like it. I think I prefer it to the apothecary.
Well, not every day though, but you know,
No,
right?
but I think you should go full on Georgian.
Well, it's funny you say that because I said to AI, I said, do me a traditional Victorian home at Christmas. That's all I said. Now, isn't it interesting? Because we know how large language models work. It would have scanned its data and found anything tagged or anything that had back data, Victorian Christmas. And hang on, I'll just show you all of it. Ian, I'll bring you in a minute. I just want to show you the whole picture. I mean, what a beautiful idea of Christmas in England. You know,
I had a house a bit like that.
I've never had a house like that. I would like to. Anyway, Marzipan's got his hood up. He's got a snout on the go, or maybe a bifter. 42, I'll bring you in, but you'll have to wait for Ian. You can wait there if you want, and then you'll definitely come in next. No. That's the thing is, I end up gabbing with him, and you won't get your part. It's been a long time. How are you, Ian?
How are you?
Your microphone is a bit. I don't know what it is. Speed?
He's the man in the cardboard box at the minute.
Yeah.
Aye, shit.
It's all right now. It's all right now. How are you? You got your hood up there. Is that one of those things that is a hood and a full body suit?
Well, it's not full
Onesie.
body.
It's not a onesie. No. If you wore a onesie around where you live, would it be tolerated, or would you probably get kicked?
Get beaten up for being a furry.
Maybe get put in a register.
Which would be understandable in many ways, I think. How are you, Ian? Merry Christmas, mate.
Merry Christmas. I'm all right. I'm just dodging away. Me and the dog sitting here. Quiet.
Smoking bifters, Christmas bifters.
My back was a wee bit sore, so just had a wee bifter there to ease the pain from that.
For your back. My mate has got. Well, I've got one mate who's got so much money he doesn't know what to do with. He's now getting legal weed for his back problems. It is expensive though, but it's funny because it's all like. I mean, I do believe and have proven to myself medicinal benefits of weed. They're great for migraines.
But I used to be a stay high, but not anymore. I only smoke it when my back's really giving me a bit of grip.
And what do you do if your back isn't giving you jip? Do you sort of deliberately hurt yourself and then so you can have a bifter? No, I didn't think you did. It was just a joke. But the thing is, he gets his prescriptions, but they're not like they haven't got medicinal names. They've got the names that they are, like White
Uh-huh.
Widow and like
Yeah.
Amnesia Haze, and it's like, come on. But it was the same as when I was getting morphine amps from the Stapleford Centre. The amps weren't expensive, and they were giving me Valium. But what you had to do was go and see them every month, and that was 300 quid. That's how they made their money. They'd sell you the drugs for next to nothing, but you'd have to go and see them, and that was free.
There's one mob here that does 3 prescriptions, 3 consultations. All you pay for is your medicine.
Wow. Did you say 5 septone amps?
Medican or something, or I can't remember. My mate's going through the process of getting registered with them at the moment.
I got approved for diamorphine amps, but it wasn't take home. You got one take home, but I had to go from Soho to Denmark Hill at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's rush hour traffic in London. That's a 2-hour journey, hideous 2-hour journey as well. Like in the tube, and then you had to have it there. But it's pure diamorphine. But then I had to come home. And then at 1 o'clock, I'd have to do that journey again. But I'd have just got home, because a 2-hour journey back. And then at the second one that you had to have there, then they'd give you one for the evening. And I said to him, look, when I got the email, it said, you have been approved for the prescription diamorphine. Mate, I run around my room. I just thought I can't, because it wasn't, because then the dark web was there, so I wasn't having problem with acquisition. The price was good, the quality was good, but the big thing was travel. You can't go on holiday and risk all that. I mean, I have done, but not. It got when I was younger. I'm not, and also when you're taking girlfriends on holiday, I can't be smuggling Class A's into Singapore and the like. They chop your hands off. And but with a prescription and all that. But then when I sat back down at the computer, I'm thinking, this is amazing. This is the perfect prescription. And then it explained what I had to do, and the fall that I just went from ecstatic to like. And I said to him, listen, that means my whole day is going to be taken up coming to see you. And she said, look, I know it's ridiculous, but if we can prove this works, it's part of the route to, and I said, well, look, I'm going to have to turn it down. I said, because I've got a job, I run a business, and I just haven't got time to do all that. And I was gutted.
What I found during the recovery process is there's no, we don't have a rule book for functioning addicts.
Yeah. That's really
like
good point.
I can't. I've got a fucking job to keep here. I can't.
Yeah.
You just like, right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good point, Ian. Imagine any other, anything else where you needed medication, and they'd say like maybe Prozac or something or anything, and they say, yeah, you have to come and get it twice a day. You'll be like, yeah, but I've got a job and a family. And they'd be like, yeah, well, if you want it, these are the hoops you've got to jump through. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a copy of your book, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you reading it.
I'm having a wee look at the finances at the moment to see if I can order it today. If I can, then I'll get it done. Definitely.
I hope you enjoy it.
It's a good laugh, Miles. You will enjoy it.
Thank you, Packer. I might be coming to England because I'm going wide. I'm going to stay on Amazon, but I'm going to try and get it in independent bookshops and Waterstones. I already had a novel in Waterstones years ago, so that helps. So I've got to go on to a distributor, but being out here makes it a bit of a problem. I might have to mobilise the scrubs at some point in a couple of months. I might have to see if you walk past any, don't do it yet because they can't get it yet. But once it's registered on the system, if the scrubs can pop into your local bookshops and Waterstones and say, have you got Chris Dangerfield's time, Loving the Time of Nudie Mags? When they haven't, they might say, we'll get a copy in. And if I was in England, I'd do that all day, every day. I'd travel the country. I might do that because I'm a salesman as well. And if I can walk in as the author, talk to them about it, talk about the YouTube channel, talk about the success of the Substack, talk, you know. But the problem with that is the cost of flying to England, and I haven't got my mother's house to stay at anymore. It's just like, you know, I was looking at flights the other day. It's like 1,200 quid. It's like, what? What? They're really trying to make up for their COVID losses.
Yeah, but I mean, we can get return flights to Thailand from here for about 700, 800 quid.
Wow.
Sure
what airport's that?
What's that?
What airports are in Scotland?
No, that would be flying from England, but there was a guy whose channel it was on, and they were talking about the cost of going to Amsterdam for the week and your weed, and the cost of going to Thailand for the week and your weed. And it worked out about, well, in fact, it worked out cheaper going to Thailand than it did going to Amsterdam.
I tell you what, last time I went to Patong, because it's legal now in Thailand, weed. When I first went to Thailand, you'd have a 7-Eleven, you'd have a massage shop, and then you'd have a pharmacy. And you could go into any pharmacy and you could say, do me 50 diazepam, do me 50 of those two, do you remember the 2-bar Xanaxes? They'd sell you pretty much anything except for, you know, silly things. But now it's 7-Eleven, massage shop, weed shop. The whole place just stinks of weed. Everyone's smoking weed. Every hotel, except for the like flashy ones, when you go up to the jump to sort of, hi, I booked here, here's my passport, photocopy. They've got those like little airtight jars of about 20 different varieties all on the and it's really good quality. I bought when me and my missus went, I bought a gram, and I must have given them back about 0.6 of a gram. When I left, I said, yeah, because I'm not a big smoker anymore. We had one night, we made one joint, and we both were just like, oh, and a bed, man. But it's just, Patong is just a cloud of weed.
I think it's more, from the POVs I've seen, it's more weed shop, 7-Eleven, weed shop, pharmacy, weed shop, 7-Eleven, massage parlor, weed shop, weed shop. Plaza,
but there's also
plazas, a whole plaza designated to green, and you're like, what the fuck?
Some of them have got like their hydroponics set up that they'll let you go in and have a walk. If the lights are on, obviously, they'll let you go in and have a little look around at how they do it. And they're all in there trimming and all that. And because they want to show you that it's hand trimmed, not machine trimmed. Because that apparently the machine trimmers, they lose a lot of the THC. It's bizarre. You know, they gave out 1 million plants as well. They gave the government gave out 1 million plants, but they're really pushing it as medicinal. There you go, nice. Got a bad back.
Should last you till New Year.
Packer, you don't partake in the bud, do you?
No, I did for 25 years, but I don't now. No.
Me and the missus do like maybe once every 4 or 5 months or something. She doesn't like smoking, so we sometimes get the vapes. We get the vapes.
Yeah, if I was sat next to someone and they went, "Here you go," I wouldn't say no.
You'll just regret it afterwards.
Well, I'm trying to think. Last time what happens if I get some? Right, I'll get some, and then I'll just smoke it all. So I'm like that, right? If I've got it, I'll do it. I'm like that with everything. So yeah, last time I got some, brilliant. For the first 20 minutes, it was fantastic. Then I was checking through the curtains to see if the fucking police had found me. And then I was all right. And then I was all right until I'd done it all, and then that was it.
I'm the other way round. Like when I was a stay high, it's a very different experience. You don't have it and think, oh, I'm stoned. You just think, oh, this is how I live. But now what will happen is I'll smoke it, and I'm a bit edgy for the first 20 minutes. I'm a little bit, whoa, why the fuck am I in Cambodia? Well, how did I end up here? Start questioning like major decisions in my life. But after about 20 minutes, I'm just going to buy a cake and making a cup of tea. But the missus, again,
you know what you're doing? When I'm all paranoid, I know that I'm all paranoid because I've just had a fucking bifter. I know what I'm doing, so I'm just laughing at myself doing it.
Looking out the curtains. I know it on crack, but I've not heard that on the weed. On the old bill outside. When you smoke,
you know what I mean? It ain't that bad, but you do get a little bit paranoid. Because I mean, it does
everyone I know.
I live in a small community. Everyone on my estate knows everyone, right? And most of the people here, right, their parents went to school together. That's the kind of town I live in, right?
Oh no, that explains it a bit more.
Yeah, I didn't fit in round here until I'd lived here about 10 years, and I'm still not a local. They just know who I am now.
You weren't accepted.
Well, the first time I walked into my local pub, I kid you not, it went fucking quiet, and they all looked round. And I drink in there now with them, and they all know me, and it's great. But honestly, it was like what's that film, American Werewolf in London? You know when they're walking? Yeah, it was like that. And it was 2000 and something. It was way after the smoking ban, and they were all sat at the bar smoking.
Lovely.
Yeah, honestly, it's a brilliant pub. It's my favourite pub ever.
One day they're going to knock on your door, and the whole village will be there, and they're going to give you the you are now an official member of the village card. And
honestly, if I ever get called a yellow belly, it will be the proudest day of my life.
There you go.
So I was at my mate's last weekend, Chris.
Go on.
I don't drink anymore. Don't participate in anything. Just a little smoke. So I took my vape with me, dry herb vape. I'll have a wee bath at that. So get down there. Don't realise we'd planned to fix a mobile phone that he had got for me. So don't realise that he's already polished off a bottle and a half of wine before I get there. So I end up having to babysit him for the whole evening. Got up in the morning. The first question in the morning, how did I break the toilet seat? How is there crisps and cookies all over my kitchen floor? Cookies and fucking cookies were eating and rolling about the kitchen floor while having a fight.
I use that booze and weed. I mean, if you smoke weed first and then have a few drinks, you're usually all right. But drink first and then have a smoke if you're not a regular smoker. Like my missus, she doesn't drink anymore, but she used to quite a lot. And when she come home, and I used to not like it because we're separated us. I don't know her, and she's all a bit sort of demanding. I go, you want to join? She go, yeah. And I just top load it because I'm not having any. And then, of course, 2 minutes later, she's gone to bed, job done. So, it's like the opposite of a date grape.
He had been 7 weeks away working in Israel. So this was the first time that we'd met up since we got back for Christmas. So,
wow.
This was the
Hang on, did you say he'd had half a bottle of wine before you got there?
Half a wine before I got there.
Oh,
by the time I ended up deciding to stay the night and babysit him, with 3 bottles in. And
you know what? It got to the point, especially when I was living in the squat, when I just refused to do it. Like we were all stay highs, but people would visit, and we'd be, just ripping B loads of really good quality gear. And someone who never smoked usually would go on, I'll have a couple. And I go, I wouldn't, don't. I mean, maybe have a couple of tugs on joy. Go, no, I'll be all right. And I'd say, when it goes wrong, I'm not looking after you because this is my Saturday night as well. And they go, oh, what as if I'm going to need that? And then, of course, white as a ghost. Is it all right? Tell me I'm all right. And I go, no, go to bed. I give up on it. The worst one was acid. People who'd continually have bad trips. I'd say, if it goes wrong for you, I'm doing the op because I'm not, it's not easy for you, is it?
Are you happy? Is everything good in life at the moment? Is everything fucking absolutely sound before you take this? But if it isn't hunky-dory and sound, then you're taking it on your own. I'm off.
But the problem is, Ian, the kind of people that do have bad trips, they lie. Yeah, it's all great. Everything's fine. And then 2 hours later, my missus is having an affair, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. My missus. And you're just like, hang on a minute, I'm trying to listen to the music. Can you stop crying or fuck off? My missus has just generously donated me some of her Christmas cake.
Nice one.
Windy made us one each this year because I ate the whole one to myself last year. So
yes, I mean.
I know, yeah, but they can't see, love. The camera's there. She's complaining that the fan is blowing my cremeur up. It looks like I'm wearing one of those bubble dresses. Don't laugh at my willy.
You're sitting in a Chimera and I'm sitting in fucking a fuzzy blanket.
It's a onesie to me. I'm imagining you dress up like a teddy bear.
It's just a big oversized hoodie.
How far down your legs does that go?
I'm a sort of, so maybe about 5-6 inches off the ground.
So it is a onesie, essentially. Right, here's the question.
Having legs and...
Turns out Ian Maher is a Jedi.
What are the wee things called?
Here's the question that will make me decide. Would you go down the shop in it?
No.
Okay, Ian, I've got 42 and Dawn. I've got 42 and Dawn Browning racked up, so I'm going to let you go. It's lovely to see you. It really is.
Merry
and
Christmas,
you look
Ian.
after yourself. Yeah. I'm going to repeat.
Merry
What you
Christmas,
saying, big man? Yeah, you too. Chris, I'm looking forward to reading your book.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, mate. I appreciate you making the effort. Look after yourself, Ian. Good to see you.
It's good to see you still here on the tubes, and I'm looking forward to your new channel.
Yeah, thanks, man. Look after yourself. Ta-da, Ian.
Yeah.
That's an amazing. When I said to him, was it a onesie? And he said, no, I thought it was like a hoodie. But when he said nearly down to my feet, I don't want a Coca-Cola. No, love, I'm all right. I might have a little bit of yours. 42. I think you're muted, 42.
Can't hear, mate.
Or you're just not saying anything. Maybe it's your new angle.
Do some super chats, Chris.
Some have come in. Has any? Brad James has dropped scores on the door. I never saw you as a dolly dealer, Bradley. Don't forget, people. Brad's got a Substack, and he puts stories up regularly. Felix Navidad. Yep, you're on 42. Let me just do these super chats now that I'd missed them. Feliz Navidad from the mountains or somewhere that is not elsewhere, or something or nothing. I ain't even had a drink. What's your excuse? Oh, Packer, can you help me with that?
No, I couldn't have put it better myself, to be fair. I think he's nailed it.
Bradley's, it's Christmas wordplay for Bradley. Nice one, Brad. Much Arno Capricionata Tutu. I hope you're having a good time. Merry Christmas, mate. Hoyt. John Fuse has dropped another Lady Godiva. So, he says, remember his previous super chat, he said, Merry Christmas, Chris, Barkley, and all the scrubs. And I said, you got to put him in all. Sorry to leave you out, Packer. I'm out walking the dogs. Merry Christmas. We'll re-watch the stream. Happy Christmas all. Well, how do you feel about that, Packer?
I'll stop crying now then.
There you go. Thank you, John. That must be quite nice walking dogs on Christmas Day. I used to walk my dog on Christmas Day just to get away from the no Christmas at home.
Looking out my window right now, it looks sunny and crisp. It's a proper like Christmas Day walk weather, to be fair.
I miss those. I miss that crisp sun. You don't get that out here. You get hot, wet, humid sun. Brad's dropped another one in. Better a 2-hour commute. So you're going back to the story about going to get the thing, than being face down in the remnants of your own failings in French ordinary court. I haven't got a fucking clue. I'm sorry, Brad. What does FOC stand for? That must be what that is. Cryptic Bradley, he's taking the place of Mrs. Me in it. Thank you, Brad. Appreciated. And another one from Bradley. Trump is pushing them. Whoa, just suddenly normal. Trump's pushing the medicinal angle of weed too. Okay. In its own way, Brad, that's the weirdest one of the three messages because it's just like, well, that makes absolute and total instant understandable sense.
Yeah, but Chris, what you have to understand is 2 sleeper cells have just woke up. With Brad.
That's even better, 42.
Okay. Sorry about eating, but it is Christmas and it is Christmas cake. I'm doing my best to join in. Rose, hello, love. Hoyt to you. Lady Godiva. Merry Christmas. You can always have a spot on my sofa. Keep it on the QT, don't I? Slip into my DMs nearer the time. But thank you for the offer. I'm sorry to. I'm not sorry. Thank you, English Rose. I hope you're well, darling. It's lovely having you back on the firm. When people disappear, YouTube is transient. People follow streams and then they disappear. But when they come back, lovely. Alan has dropped another 10 bob. Yes. No, it wouldn't be out of line. I'll do that for you. Of course I would. Yep. I'll rack it up right now so I do not forget. There you go. That is ready to fire. Nice one, Alan. Point to that. I'm just going to check 42. Actually, that needs a bit more screen time. I'm just going to check over on Buy Me a Coffee, see if any more have come up over on there. I think one has. Amber the Rambler bought me a future. From Finland, I think Amber is. And I'll do that. I'll be with you 42. Trust me. And I'm just going to do that. Dawn Browning has been sitting there for about an hour, bless her. Lovely to talk to her though. Hang on, what's going on there? Right, can you see that? There you go, Amber. Thank you, Amber. Hoyt to that. Much appreciated, Kanatu. I'm guessing FI is Finland, isn't it? I read something about Finland the other day that absolutely blew my mind and made me envious. Oh yeah, apparently kids in Finland go to school for like 4 hours a day, and yet they perform well with exams and that. It's just very good teaching. They don't need to do like an 8 hour day with all this up, because they haven't got people fucking about and stupid teachers. So because they've got their system working, they don't need to be there all day, doing all that rubbish. I don't know if anyone can confirm that, but it wasn't something someone said offhand. It was a video about the Finnish education system.
Yeah, the thing is, if you take all the activism out of our education, you could cut it down to 4 hours as well.
There you go, exactly, and all the other bullshit. Yeah.
The biggest question I have is how the fuck anybody can go through was it 12 years of school and not have the history of their country in chronological order by the end of that. That is fucking weird.
Sorry, my girlfriend was doing sign language to me. I got the first bit. What is it they know nothing about?
The average British person finishes, was it 12 years of schooling and does not understand the history of their country in a chronological order.
Yeah, or not even that.
Yeah.
You know, the limits of all the subjects are so low.
Yeah.
So ridiculously low. I was thinking about the feminisation of our culture the other day. I knew I'd forget this. I had an interesting angle on it. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous, and it leads me to believe it's part of just getting them out of the house so that you can send women to work. I think that's part of what it is. If your kids are only at school for 4 hours a day, you need someone at home.
Well, we'll put it this way. See if every English person came out of school with a full understanding of the 1688 English Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Do you think they might be asking for their country to look a bit different?
Well, at my 16 years, well, hang on, what is it? 3 years infants, 4 years primary, that's 7, and then another 6, 13, 14 years. We weren't taught anything about civics. Nothing. No, you don't need to know about how the world works. Absolutely, it's a mess.
Were you ever taught the role of the monarch within British society?
No, not even hinted upon.
See, in primary school, I was taught the reason why we have a representative democracy, a monarchy, is because the people on the left and the people on the right can have their political debate, but both support the crown as the overarching head of state. And it would be the unifying thing for the country. And the role of the monarch is to keep the discourse between the two sides at a rational, reasonable level. And the other thing is the reason why England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland all have the same national anthem is so that whenever we go to do something, we all sing the one anthem. However, the Welsh seem to have the Welsh and Scottish have both deluded themselves that they have songs that they sing where their national anthem should be.
Did you say deluded themselves?
Yeah, they have deluded themselves. What's the national anthem of Scotland?
I haven't got a fucking clue.
God Save the King. God Save the King.
Okay.
God Save the King is Scotland's national anthem. God Save the King is Wales's national anthem. God Save the King is Northern Ireland's national anthem, and it's also England's national anthem. But the majority of people think that the Scottish one is Scotland the Brave, which was written about 50 years ago, and the and the Welsh think that they have a national anthem. Their national anthem. I swear, I shit you not. The person who wrote it comes onto the field at rugby matches and sings it, and this is
that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I think you've been a country for a couple of thousand years. And I don't think your national anthem, I don't think you went all that time without one. And the Scottish and the Welsh have both deluded themselves that they've got a song that they put where their national anthem should be. That's how good our education system is.
Yeah, it's rubbish. And of course, there was a time when even when your primary, infant, and secondary was rubbish, you could save the day and go to university. But even that's been completely corrupted now, as you well know. Wait, 42. There's something I wanted to ask you. The other day, I watched the movie about Howard Marks. Now, I knew Howard Marks. He wrote a review for my customer service letters, and he read my first novel, and an interesting bloke, actually. But what I didn't know, I knew that he made deals with the British government because he was spying for them and that, and they were letting him bring in like tons. You know, if you were smoking any solid weed, like hashish, in the mid-80s, it probably come through Howard Marks. But in the movie, he's dealing with the Irish Republican
Irish Republican Army out through Shannon, which had a free trade zone, and he was putting odd bits of metal in the boxes so that they would rattle whenever they were moved. And the people were going, yeah, that's AKs for the boys. Get that shipped on through. Yeah, that's
it. So, is that real, or is that? I mean,
that's 100% real.
I mean, I don't know if I'm really naive here, but if I was a filmmaker, I don't think I'd like to fuck around with people like that and tell stories about them.
Well, see, here's the thing. Whenever they were making that film and whenever they were doing all this stuff, the people got paid. That was cleared because they went to the IRA, they went to Provisional Irish Republican Army and says, we're doing this film, this is going to be in it. How much of a donation do we need to give you?
Really? Oh, of course. And also, I imagine there was an element of how we're going to be portrayed. But they did portray their leader as like sort of a porn-addicted lunatic. I don't know whether it was based on a real character.
That sounds very like Martin McGuinness.
Yeah, it wasn't. In the movie, it's not.
Funny enough, Martin McGuinness never sounded like.
Yeah, McGuinness had God knows how many McGuinness children there are not going to play, but and also it's very questionable about what age those mothers were whenever they gave birth. But McGuinness ran.
I mean, I'm out in Cambodia. Packer's still quite local.
But McGuinness had quite the reputation of ladies' man in Londonderry. Yeah, I've stopped.
I'm half joking. You got to remember, 42. I grew up with the on-land bombing campaign, and it's tattooed on my brain to be terrified of those people and saying anything about them. Wait, did you see?
I know Chris was, because you didn't get it. Was Martin McGuinness? They used to dub his voice, so he never sounded.
It was the other fella.
Jerry Adams as well. They did it with both of them. Yeah, but the person they put in sounded exactly like him.
We never knew.
What a ridiculous rule. Because you could interview him, you could use his words, you just couldn't hear his voice. I mean,
well, the thing was they did not want terrorists talking on television, but they also needed to tell the people what was happening. So this was their workaround. We didn't put a terrorist on television. Well, we had interestingly, I did a thing for BBC Radio Ulster where I gave them an interview about male victims of domestic abuse. But because none of my stuff had been through court or anything, they had somebody from the studio recite. They took the recording of everything, and then they had somebody else say it, because that takes them out of a legal loophole.
I get you.
Defamation.
Yeah.
So it's possibly something like that.
Deniable plausibility or something like that.
It could be something to do with that. I'm honestly not 100% sure. But
Well,
I do
sorry, I interrupted.
very well.
Now, I think I might have already mentioned this to you, but the other week I saw a video. It had the old flag behind them, the ballers, shooters, and they were just calling it out. And it was about what they're doing to their country. It was weird. And they were saying, we know where you live and we're coming for you. Essentially, that was their message.
Yeah, but what you need...
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but what you need to understand, and this is where it's quite key, this new batch of republicanism that is against immigration and stuff like that, they also class every British person in Ireland as an immigrant.
Yeah, of course, that's what I assumed.
They still call us planters. Right? And that's to say that we came over during the plantation.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that you'll be a bit further down the list, though.
Yeah. Oh well. No, but we've never come off this list. Here's where the problem is. December has been quiet, but it always is. There's sort of like an unofficial ceasefire that happens in December. But in November, you'll find that the peace gates on the Shankill Road were closed early 4 nights out of 5 because they've been having incursions. No.
It's never really stopped then.
No, it's never really stopped.
They made it appear like it had. The old, what was it called, that big signing?
The Good Friday Agreement, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, 6 months later, we had the Uma bomb.
I'm not laughing at a bomb, obviously, but it's just... So for the people living out in Northern Ireland, all that must have been just ludicrous, because on the mainland, we thought, it's all over. Sweet.
There are, I would say, 70% of the unionist community want the Good Friday Agreement gone. It hasn't worked. It hasn't improved anything. What we have done is we have made sure we have made equal exclusion codified. So what they'll say is, okay, the unionists aren't allowed to parade here, but the nationalists aren't allowed to parade there either, so that's fair, and we'll stop these parades. But the problem is that the unionists have, 7,000 parades a year, and the nationalists have about 6. So they
6,000 or 6 parades?
About 6 parades.
Okay.
Right.
Imbalance.
It is very, very the parading tradition in Northern Ireland and all of Ireland is very much a unionist thing. It's something that the nationalists don't do. Also, the bonfire tradition is something that the unionists always did, and the nationalists sort of did a little bit starting in the 70s, but that's down out again, being replaced by music stuff. So so it's not really fair or equal, because you're only restricting one side's culture.
Why did everyone in England know about the IRA but not about unionists? in the 80s.
Because if you got exposed to us properly, it would affect how England worked. Because believe it or not, you can't understand Irish history without English history. You can't understand English history without Irish history, because they're very much interlinked. And what they really don't want is you talking to people like me that's going to bring up things like the 1688 English Bill of Rights, that are going to bring up about it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me your history, the way you are taught it and all, it's sort of pushed towards First World War, Second World War, and anything before that is like prehistory, and I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I went to a state comp. We got told, even when you say the Second World War, what they actually told us was, like, I can't remember. It was so insignificant.
Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, well, no, not even that about the First World War. No, we got taught about really odd, specific things like cholera. That's what I remember. The teacher walked in one day and he went, "The cholera is coming. Watch out, the cholera." And we're all sitting there thinking, "You dozy fucker." And then he told us about cholera. That was secondary school state comp history.
Yeah.
Shocking, isn't it?
The English should very much be taught exactly all about the English Civil War, which doesn't seem to happen.
I know nothing about all that.
Would you know what side your family was on in the English Civil War?
No, I don't even know when it was.
Yeah, but see, here's the funny thing. I know what side my family was on. I know what side my family was on in the English Civil War, and I live in Belfast, mate.
Dropping mate at the end made me feel like we had that chat in a pub and you were about to glass me.
Yeah, no, I also know as it happens.
Yeah.
How do you know, Packer?
Because of my surname.
All right, or you can keep that on the QT if you wish.
Yes,
that might make sense.
But someone in my family looked into it.
I could probably find out, I guess, but my time would probably be better spent looking into the English Civil War.
Yeah,
Cromwell, by the way, if anybody's interested, but you know.
Oh, Cromwell's great, man. Cromwell was a fucking absolute fantastic man. We need another one of him.
Brad James says apparently the Welsh word for microwave is ping-de-ping. Yep. You can't tell me that the Welsh language ain't a piss take.
No, it isn't. It's pop-de-ping. I corrected him on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's pop-de-ping.
Also, ironing board is smoothio.
Wow. Thank you, Bradley, for another generous donation. And Brad, what are you up to today? What are you doing? I'm interested.
Right, Chris, I'm going to have to go. I need to go gather up my stuff and go down and start making dinner for myself and my dad.
Did you see Notepad? Have you noticed the first person who's chosen to leave? No, it doesn't work like that. Right, 42, you got to go now because Dawn Browning. Oh, she's gone as well. She'd had enough. All right, listen, always a pleasure to talk to you. You and your missus, of course, the lovely Emma G. Have a wonderful Christmas. Great. Did you get any books for Christmas?
Oh, funny you should mention that. I got a book and Emma got a book and we were opening them at the same time and surprise, yes, it was that book.
All right, mate. Listen, have a cracking time.
So we both got our copy. Emma's reading hers, but she hasn't said too much about it because I haven't started mine yet. That's going to start this evening. Whenever I get home and after post-Christmas, that's what I'm going to do. So.
All right, mate. Well, look, that's lovely of you both. Have a lovely Christmas. Enjoy yourself and take care.
Right. Merry Christmas, Scrubs. Okay, bye.
Bye. What am I doing? Right, well, Dawn Browning, if you're still here, I've got time for one more. I haven't really, because I've done 2 hours. My missus is cooking, but you were waiting. I don't know what time it is in. Well, let's find out. She held out for a long. I'm a bit pissed that I missed Dawn, to be honest with you. Let's see if I can find out. Packer's gone, or maybe I took him off the stage by accident. Hello, sorry, mate.
It's all right. I'm just opening another Christmas present.
Hello, Mush. What's the time in Australia now?
What can I help you with, Mush? And sure thing. Right now, it's about 11:30 p.m. in Sydney, Australia. Let me know if you need anything else.
Yeah, I want you to
And it's Boxing Day.
shut it. Yeah, Dawn, I'm sorry. Well, she's not here, is she? All right, I'm just going to check the Packers opening the present. Come on screen. This is someone was clever enough to know not to buy you a whole bottle. That's nice. So that's
Hang
nice.
on, no.
Oh, there's more. He's got a whole bottle stashed away. There, good Lord. I don't know if you've had it, people, but I first ever time I drank one shot, I ended up finishing a bottle and nearly got the shit kicked out of me by the barman. Right, people, I've done an hour over what I told my missus. It is Christmas here, so I am going to go now. I'm just checking over on the Buy Me a Coffees. I don't want to miss anyone. There you go. Right, we are done. Listen, Packer, I'll let you go. We'll have a little debrief after.
All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for coming.
Hasn't he spoken today? Isn't it amazing what a couple of bucks fizz can do? I'll talk to you in a minute. Show Packer some love in the chat, people. Ta-ra, see you in a minute, mate. Well, there you go, people. That was the Scrubs Christmas Day there's no Christmas here except for that little bit of Christmas cake. My missus, are you cooking? Yeah, I love you too, darling. No, it's finished now. It's finished. I've done an hour over. Well, it's now 9 o'clock at night. That's a bit bad, really, me laughing at it. I want to thank everyone who donated, of course. I want to thank everyone who came on and talked. I want to thank all the scrubs that have got busy in the chat and have been chatting away and talking. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have. Old Vorp and Anvil is agreeing with me. Yep. He kept sending work to the same bloke, and in the end, the bloke went, all right then. Yeah, gives you faith, doesn't it? Anglo's on the firm. Hello, mate. Amazing. All right, people, I'm going to lead us out with a piece of music I think you will recognise. By the way, the Buy Me a Coffee videos haven't been working for about a week now. So that's a bit frustrating. I'll give it a couple of days. I've written to them, but if I can't do you a video reply, I will reply to everyone who donated on Buy Me Coffee with a written message. Okay? If you are on your own for Christmas, maybe that's how you like it. You know, the organism tends to do things that the organism does, so to speak. So, you know, there's no pressure on you to do anything. It's your life. And if you live it correctly, one's enough. Look after yourselves, people. I'm going to press that button. I'm going to press that button. I'm going to press that button. And I'm going to go like that. Look after yourselves. I will be putting your messages on the screen. How do I get rid of me? That's no good. That's more like it. Ta-da!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of man love. There's someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a time. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in man love. All the world loves the lover. All the girls, every land are meant to know. joy of loving is to live.
I'm sorry we missed you, Dawn. I'm sorry, darling.
There's a place that is waiting for you, a world where the best in life is free, where time is always spring, happiness is king. Dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in
Well, that's annoying. I know that Dawn was still there, but I did run over by. Sorry, Dawn. I might do it special. Whatever you want. Happy Christmas. You're a good man. Here's David.
Loves a lover. All the girls in every land on man to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
Agree. Right, it would appear I've got a couple more minutes because I missed some super chats. Dawn Browning has been on the firm for 40. Dawn's been here since before I was, before the dawn of I'm. That's my Christmas cracker joke. Dawn dropped a bullseye. Now making me feel even worse. I'm so sorry. Eesh, thank you, Dawn. That's lovely. It's a super sticker. Amazing. Very kind. Campervan Jim Bob, 2B. Nice one. And ahoy to you, Dawn, as well. And Packer, who's had the Bucks Fizz and he's on his shot and then bottle. It's like a taster that he doesn't need. Oh, once I took my missus to the Raffles in Phnom Penh, you know, the Raffles famous hotel. I think the original's in Singapore. And this was when she was like 19 and she'd never been to a restaurant or a hotel. That's how much of a wild animal she is. And she'd never had red wine. And I said, I think you might like it. I said, we're eating steak. You want a nice red? The geezer's come over and he's held the bottle out to her and she grabbed it and she went, oh. I said, yeah, we'll buy that one. And even the geezer was laughing his head off. Packer says, cheers, Chris and all the scrubs. Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas, one and all. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll just check Buy Me a Coffee once more because if someone has donated, they'll feel very much missed out. And they haven't. Listen, people, thank you, Packer, for that. Thanks for coming on as well, Packer. I know it's your Christmas as well. Bless you all, people. Look after yourselves. Enjoy yourself. I'll probably take one day off and I'll be streaming and making videos and trying to make a go of this new life. Enjoy yourselves. Like yourselves. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to do it. Ta-ta.